this is Jeff Al Gilbert. Welcome to my gym in my home. And I'm going to talk about how do you get to six figures. Now, this is not a income claim or claiming that you will get to six figures, because it's entirely up to you. It's personal performance, isn't it? But I'm going to tell you, if you don't do this, you'll never do it. We're going to talk about that. For those of you that do not know me, I've been involved in network marketing 41 years. 28 years ago, I was broke. Sold a junk truck to get started, put $200 into my business. And the last 28 years, this has been a career for me. Just love it. And for those of you, I'm going to acknowledge some people joining first. And John in Baltimore, good to see you. George in New York City. I'm going a little bit later than I usually do. Rocio, of course, she's on California time, Pacific time. Oh, it's early for her. It's just after 7 o'clock, isn't it? But good to see you. You probably are, a night owl anyway. Most networkers are night owls. And, it's interesting. What is the date today? It's January. Yes, I don't even know what day it is. January 18th, and I had a mother with hey Bridget, good to see you in Ohio. I had a mother with 3 bears show up tonight in my driveway. They came out of their den. I was very surprised because it's still very cold here. TJ, good to see you. C-Ro, what's up? Rosia says, it's sunny here. Boy, isn't that wonderful? She's out getting a suntan. We're over here freezing. How can you do that with a clear conscience? Hey, Cindy. Anyway, but it was a mother with 3 bears showed up in the driveway, man. She just, anyway, it was nice seeing them. And, of course, they didn't go away with an empty stomach. I'll just say that. I'm a merciful person. Lupita, good to see you. And thank you. I love the bears too, Bridget. Those those cubs are sweet. They're sweeties. As a matter of fact, interesting story. I spoke with one of the neighbors here, and he had a friend that knew where their den was and saw the mother get out with 2, but the third was stuck and couldn't get out. And he literally went up to that cub and grabbed it by the ears and pulled it out of that hole. It was quite a story. So I'm going a little bit later than I normally go. I'm sorry about that if I'm keeping you up late. But when we talk about six figures or earning six figures, we have to understand that all companies have different compensation plans. And Warner, good to see you. Different compensation plans dictate different strategies. So, for example, maybe to go to the top rank position in your company might require 6 legs performing and doing X amount of dollars. Plus, it might also have rank requirements in those legs to achieve that, and that might be more than just one person per leg. that has to rank at a specific rank, right? So, not to get technical, I'm just saying that's the reality of things. So, because different companies have different compensation plans, that dictates different strategies of how to achieve those ranks. Those ranks are going to dictate how much money you make, right? Yeah. Okay. So, but at the end of the end of the day, some are going to have to maybe work harder in some plans, and some people not so hard in other plans. It just depends on the plan. Some plans are also more profitable. Some companies pay more money. Some companies pay less money. And then some people prefer. Let me get some water. I just got out of the sauna and my lips got stuck. Some people prefer binary compensation plans. Some people prefer unilevel. Some people prefer generational. Okay. At the end of the day, if you want to achieve significant income, in this case, since the subject was 6 figures, then it's just simply you'll have to understand the strategy of your compensation plan. Then it comes down to performance. That's you. Performance. And that's what a lot of people don't get, because they talk about the statistics. Most people that join a network marketing company never make it, blah blah blah. What they don't understand is most people that join to use the product anyway. That's like me going to to a McDonald's and buying a cheeseburger, and they said, see, he's not successful. McDonald's doesn't work. McDonald's doesn't work. The only thing he got out of it was a burger. Well, I didn't want the franchise. I wasn't there for the franchise. Most people join a network marketing company don't join with the intention of making a lot of money. They join with the intention of using the product. Most of them do. But now let's get back to the performance thing, and that's what I want to talk about. What you have to do, if you want to make $10,000 a month, for example, if you want to do that, there's a principle here, and it's going to be the same principle if you want to make 20. It's going to be the same principle if you want to make 40. It's going to be the same principle if you want to make 100,000, so on and so forth. And it's going to have to do with how you view time, your time, the value you put on your time. And this isn't going to be a time management discussion, and this will be short, okay? It's not a time management discussion, because you don't manage your time, you manage the activities in your time. That's what I want to focus on, is the activities in your time. See, I find that the same people that want to make $10,000 a month are the same people that are throwing $10,000 a month away every month. Yes, that's right. You heard me. The same people want to earn $10,000 a month are throwing it away every month. How are they doing that? Well, I'll tell you, because you have to, if you want to make $10,000 a month in network marketing, and I think, I experienced that back in the 1990s when I first hit that. But if you want to do that, you have to treat your time as if you're already making that now. In other words, that's the only way you're going to get there. How many of you remember my story in my book, Reaching the Peak, which is on Amazon? If you don't have it, I would encourage you to get it, read it. But I would go down Dream Street every Sunday, and I would look at the houses of wealthy people. And I used to think, yes, this is the way my life's going to be, and this is how my life's going to turn out. And I would rehearse that every Sunday, going down that street, rehearsing my life. And within 18 months, I was moving into, yes, one of those beautiful houses. You see, here's the thing. I had to believe that I had already arrived if I was ever going to get there, right? I had to assume that it's already done, so I don't need to sweat about it. Because we are going to attract what we think about most. So if you want to be a $10,000 a month earner, then you have to treat your time as if you're already making $10,000 a month. How would you treat your time if you were making $10,000? Now you might say, well, $10,000 a month is not a lot of money. That may be true for you. I get that. That may be true. But for most people that join a network marketing company, believe me, it's all the money in the world, okay? It really is. Okay, to be a 6-figure earner is all the money in the world to them. Now, I'm not saying that's the ceiling. I am not saying that. But you can't get to 20 till you've been to 10. right? Would you agree? Okay, that makes sense. Okay, the same principle is going to carry over if you want to get to 20, if you want to get to 40, if you want to get to 80, if you want to get to 100. It doesn't matter. It's the same principle. It's how you treat your time. So if you accept the reality that you're earning $10,000 right now every month, then you need to treat your time as if you're earning $10,000 a month. And I'll be honest with you, some of you people out there are selling yourself for nothing. You're cheap labor. You really are. And I don't mean to insult you, because I did it too. I was just as guilty of it. But I also understood that you have to change the way you view your time if you want to have success in network marketing. And so let's just take a 40-hour work week, okay? So $10,000, 40-hour work week, that's $62.50 an hour. That's what you would be earning. I know there's doctors out there not making that, okay? I mean, they went through a lot of education just to be in practice, but their costs, their overhead, everything, they struggle to turn six figures. But $62.50, okay? Now, if you say, well, Jeff, I don't have a 40-hour work week. I don't have that. So I only got 20. Okay, well, then that was me. That was me 28 years ago, because I had a day job, and then when I got off my job, guess what I did? When I got home, I'd have a quick dinner, go down the hallway, close the door, start making phone calls. That's right. So if that's the case, then basically, you know, your time and the value you put on that time's gone up, because you're not $62.50. You're $125 an hour. That's right. See, we have to understand that when you don't have enough time, you've got to be more productive. That's the key. So again, you have to have the attitude that, hey, I'm going to treat my business as if I'm already $10,000 a month. And if you only have 20 hours a week, now that was me, like I said, based on a 7 days a week, that's like 2.5 hours. I don't know, 2.5 hours average a day. Yeah, that's what I did. Now, do we do that the rest of our life from there to eternity? No, of course not. Of course not. What you're trying to do is it's like the shuttle. You're just trying to have liftoff. You're trying to escape gravity. And that's it. Once you do that, it flies on its own. I mean, it's very little fuel, right? And that's the way your business is. So again, you have to view your time that way. I mean, think about doctors. I mean, doctors only have so much time every day, 5 days a week, because they take weekends off. And from morning till late afternoon, when they finally close their doors, they only got so much time. They can't afford patients not to show up. They will never have more time. And that's the thing I want you to appreciate here. You can lose money and get money back. But when you lose time, you can't get it back. And that's why you need to value your time this way. Like with doctors, for example, it's the time that they trade to see a patient. Once they've spent that money's gone. It's not like network marketing. That the time that I put in when I joined my last company 22 years ago, that time that I put in 22 years ago, I'm still getting paid on that time. Still getting paid on that time. The value of that time has increased over the years. It doesn't work that way with doctors. So that's why you need to value your time. And so if you only got 20 hours a week, and that's 2.5 hours a day, like me, I worked my way out of that job. That's right. Took me 18 months, but I did it. And when I left that job, I never looked back. That was, like I said, 28 years ago. So value your time that way. Here's the thing. If you don't have much time, then the price of your time goes up based on what you want to make. Based on what you make. So that's it. And again, if you only have, let's say, 10 hours a month, and your goal is $1,000. I'm not saying your goal has to be 10,000. I don't, that's up to you. But if it's $1,000 a month extra income, and you only got 10 hours, then it's $100 an hour. That's what your time is valued at. So that's the mindset that you have to have. See, my goal here is not to tell you what your income goal is or what it should be. I just want to tell you that you'll never get there if the price of your time is not decided. I want that to sink in. Okay, my goal is not to tell you what your income goal should be. It's not. I'm here to tell you that you'll never get there. You will never get there if the price of your time is not decided. Very important. Can you imagine how much it would cost to get 1 hour of Tony Robbins time? 1 hour of Tony Robbins time. How much would that be? $1 million? $1 million. Imagine that, a coaching call from Tony Robbins. How did he get there? How in the world did his time get valued at that? Well, it started here, friends. It started here. There was a time Tony was absolutely bust, broke, had nothing. But he had to value his time and say, hey, my time is going to be worth, I want to get to 10,000 as fast as I can. Okay. And that's it. And so he put a price on each hour, and he was careful with what he did. So that's the thing. So when somebody comes to you, or like in my case, if my wife comes to me and says, hey, honey, can you do some projects? Could you go outside and do this in the yard, do that in the yard? Or what about all the bears that have crapped on my deck? That happens a lot. No respect from the bears. I'm serious. We got bear pies out there just like you got cow pies out there in a field, okay? So I pay somebody to take care of that. That's what I do. I pay somebody. So here's the thing. And if you can't afford to pay somebody, that's okay. Then dictate it to your family, okay? So, whatever. But you got to understand is if you want to become a success in network marketing, you have to learn how to dictate or to ask members of your family to support you and do certain things that you cannot do. You just can't do because you've got that time that you got to put in. Again, it's not forever, but it's to get your business up and running, get it flying. Anytime somebody's wanting your time, just ask yourself this: what is it going to cost me? Now, I'm going to tell you something. I can tell you how much value you put on your time based on the way you bring people into your company. How do I do that? Because many of you have different terminologies, but like a rapid reward, when somebody joins, you sponsor somebody and they join. If I was to look at the average amount of products or package that they purchase, and the time that you put into that person, I can tell you how much value you put on your time. Because most people will just want to, just cover what the compensation plan requires. In other words, that person you just brought in, they're going to have the assumption that, or the hope that they're going to do the business. And if your company requires $100, for example, it might be higher than that, but we're just going to go for $100 here, or 100 points, whatever you want to call it, then for most out there, that's going to be their goal. Their goal is to get that person to join with a 100-point purchase. And then you're going to, let's just say your rapid reward or a quick start bonus, whatever you want to call that, okay, is 25%. Let's just say it's 25%. Okay, so you made $25. But you spent hours, not on just one call, but on several calls, bringing that person in. So really, when you look at it, the value of your time may not be more than 5 hours, or $5 an hour, $5 an hour. $5 an hour, man, you're not even making minimum wage in the United States, okay? You're not even doing that. But most networkers do that. Most of them do that. So what does that mean? Am I talking about you need to front end load people? No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you got to manage your activities, as I said in the beginning, not your time, but your activities. But again, you have to pay attention to your time. But you have to be more productive in your time. That is, you need to use onboarding tools like an onboarding video. An onboarding video, what does that person need to do? The video should teach them that. You shouldn't spend your time doing that. Also, when you bring somebody in, plug them to any groups that you have, any group trainings. Plug them into that. So that way they can learn together with people who get on that call. But here's the other thing too. You might have heard me say this in the past. I'll say it again. When you sponsor someone, don't sponsor one person. Sponsor a family. Why? Because you want the family to support that person you sponsored. Okay, so if it's a woman you brought in and she just loves your skincare, then what about her husband? Maybe he likes to work out. I'm in my gym tonight. I love to come to my gym. I try to come every day if I can. Okay, so I'm always curious about any kind of products that will enhance my performance in my gym. So I've got a wet bar. You can't see it, but this around me is a wet bar, okay? Hey, Mindy, what's up, girl? So the thing is, if the woman you brought in has a husband like that, then are there products in your company that he would be interested in? Are there products in your company that it would be good for children? So that's what I'm saying. You sponsor a family, not an individual. The intent is not so much the commission as the future performance of your business. Because whatever you do to that person, you're asking them to do. If you bring them in for $100 and you're going to spend hours training that person and you're making less than minimum wage on your rapid reward or your quick start bonus, whatever you want to call that, okay, it's a big mistake. You're teaching people how to be broke. You need to teach people how to be in profit, not just in managing the activities and watching their time, but again, you have to make money. You have to teach your people how to make what? Money. They have to teach their people how to make what? Money. That's how you do it. And so when I say sponsor a family, again, is it all about the money? No. It's all about getting a family sold on what your company, the products that you have. And so in doing so, instead of just bringing somebody in, it's $100, but you talk to them about their family members, what they're interested in, what they would like for their family. The next thing you know, they're buying $300-400 of products that they're interested in getting all their family on. Oh my gosh, what if everybody did that joined your team? What would your volume look like? What would your commission be? How much money would you be making? So in other words, instead of taking you 4 years to get to your income goal, now you can do it in a year because everybody's duplicating that. Does this make sense to you? So that's what I'm saying is how much, but I'm saying most people are going for minimum wage, and I don't want you doing that, or less than minimum wage actually. So again, when somebody's asking your time for your time, ask yourself, what is it going to cost me? So, and here's the thing, having said that, because I have an assistant. I remember one day my assistant asked me to do something. It was basically an errand. And I said, no, I don't do that. Do you know how much money I make per hour if I was to base it on a 40-hour work week? And I don't do 40 hours, okay. But if I did, okay. I said, do you know how much money you know what that would cost me to do that, what you're suggesting? No. I'm not going to give my time to that. I'm going to give it to things that are productive. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean we ignore our family. That doesn't mean we ignore our spirituality. That doesn't mean that we ignore our intellectual needs, our personal growth needs. Those things are all important, and that price is worth paying. So I don't care whether you're making $62.50 an hour based on a 40-hour work week, or $125 an hour based on a 20-hour work week. Whatever. I don't care if it's $1,000 an hour. That price is worth paying for. I mean, I value my time with my children. I mean, my youngest son, I value the fact that I can still go into his bedroom, and I do this every morning, give him a kiss on his forehead. I'm so glad to see him in the morning. So happy. But I also know there's going to come a day I won't be doing that. I mean, once he becomes a man, he's going, Dad, you're not going to do that, Dad. No, Dad. I love you, Dad, but you're not going to do that. So the thing is, that price is priceless. It really is. But if you have somebody that calls you up, it's a leader, and they want to chit chat, what do? I mean, you love your leaders. I get that. But you can waste a lot of time on chit chat. When they call you so you don't offend them, say, hey, Janet, I'm so glad you called. Good to hear from you. I gotta get on a call in 10 minutes, or you got to do something important. You come up with it. I'm not saying you should lie, but you better come up with a good reason. Be off that phone in 10 minutes. That way, again, you're treating your time as what? As if you're already making $10,000 a month. That's right. You're a six-figure earner. Here's the reality. You might have heard of the 80-20% rule, right? That that 80% of the people are going to produce what? A small percentage, 20% of the business. And then your 20%ers, that's a small percentage of leaders, are going to produce what? 80% of your business. That's right. But the reality is that most leaders in network marketing will give 80% of their time to the 80%ers that produce 20% of the business. Why? Because those people take a lot of work. Oh my gosh, they're a lot of work. I mean, we got to wake them up every day. We got to bathe them. We got to get them in their underwear. We got to get them dressed. And we got to tell them why they need to do this. Yeah, we got to create desire in their hearts. Oh my gosh. In the meantime, we neglect what? Those 20%ers that produce 80% of the business or work. Yeah, that's a big trap door. A lot of networkers fall into that. Again, you don't give your time to people who need it. You give your time to people who earn it. That may sound harsh. I'll say that again. You don't give your time to people who need it. You give your time to people who've earned it. That's your leaders. Now the rest, you just pat them on the head, say, I love you, and then disappear quick. That's what you do. That's what you do. Be nice to them. Be nice to them. But here's what I want you to remember. I'm having fun with this. Here's what I want. I'm just saying, you're never going to get to six figures, $10,000 a month if you don't do this. You'll never get to 20. You'll never get to 40, never 80, never 100. It's not going to happen. Because you've got to put a value on your time. And I don't know what your value is. But I can tell you by what you do every day. I can tell you how you bring people in, how you value your time. And I'm saying that most people, it's under minimum wage what they're making. And you can stop that. And you can get better. I mean, I've been guilty of it, okay? I learned this stuff by doing it all wrong. Now, if you want to just do the same thing I did, okay, just do that, okay? It's painful, But remember this. What I've learned is there's increasing value in scaling your income, and therefore it's harder to give it away. I'll say that again. What I've learned is there's increasing value in scaling your income, and therefore it's harder to give it away. It should be harder, not to your children now, not to your personal development, not to your spirituality, okay? I'm talking about business, that it gets harder to give it away. It should be that way every day. Harder to give it away. Where are you going to spend the time? I mean, I did some things today I didn't want to do. I had to do. I thought, gosh, man, my time, I'm not using my time right. It's good. When you get self-conscious that way, I'm telling you, that's the pathway to success. Because you're going to make sure that you're managing what? Not just your time, but your activities. That's the important thing. So, I had to think too, when I had a chance to talk to Tony Robbins a little more than a year ago, I got 5 minutes of Tony's time. Now, 5 minutes may not seem like much to you. 5 minutes isn't really that much to me. It really isn't. But when you consider how much money a multi-billionaire like Tony Robbins is, 5 minutes of his time, if a coaching call is $1 million for an hour, what's 5 minutes worth? Now, I wasn't good at math. You're probably better at that than I am. But figure that. And I had a chance to have a 5-minute face-to-face and a hug and talk to him. It was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And I found that to be priceless. So I hope you got some value out of this. If you did, you could share it. So maybe you could help your team leaders see the importance of what they have to do if they want to get to $10,000 a month. Now, why would you want them to get to $10,000 a month? You think that would influence your income? You bet you. So thanks for jumping on tonight. If you just got on this, then do the replay. You'll get value out of that. Hey, honey, good to see you. You'll get value out of it. But the important thing is not just you. I mean, if you're always the brightest person in the room, that's a problem. That's a problem. You know, like Tony says, proximity is everything. I totally agree. I love getting around successful people and learning from them. So for me, it's been a 41-year journey, and just love it. I love what I'm learning, and I love sharing it. So I hope you got value. You could share it. And by the way, if you didn't get my book on Amazon, Reaching the Peak, it's in English and Spanish. Thanks for jumping on this call. All of you have a great night.